Happy Friday morning, and thanks for joining me. If you're here with me live, would you put me in the comment section so I know that you're here with me? I want to thank you for joining me. Today, I'm talking about how choice overload is making us sick. And how can we get to a place where choices are made simpler? Have you ever decided that you're going to watch something on Netflix and you've got like an hour and a half to watch something, and you get onto Netflix and you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and I've watched this and I've watched this and I've watched this, and before you know it, it's 30 minutes later and you still haven't decided what you're watching. Either you've watched it already or there's just so many choices that it's taking you a really, really long time to figure out what it is you want to watch. And now you can't even watch the whole movie because you only had an hour and a half to begin with. And now you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling annoyed, and you're throwing your arms up in the air because you're so frustrated. Have you ever gone to the grocery store and you went in for 5 items, and the next thing you know, you're standing in line and you look in your cart and you've got 25 items because there's so many things to choose from? Did you know that there's, in an average grocery store, there's 49,000 products to choose from? 49,000. That's a lot of choices. And what happens when we have all of these choices? On one hand, we think, oh, having all these choices is amazing and it's great. And yet, on the other hand, we have so many choices that sometimes it makes it difficult to make a choice. We don't know what to choose. And so we don't choose, or maybe we choose something we regret choosing that isn't our best choice. And in the process of all of that, it creates stress in us to have to constantly have all these choices to make. And stress, as we all know, is the number one cause of weight gain or the inability to lose weight. It's the number one cause of illness in our bodies, is stress. And when stress is created from an overwhelming amount of choices that we have to make, how do we come to a place where we make that simpler? If you feel like the choices overwhelm you at times, would you put overwhelmed in the comment section for me? Yeah, feeling overwhelmed by the choices. So, what can we do to simplify the process of making choices for ourselves? What can we do to make choices easier so that we're not feeling stressed out by the choices, so that it doesn't take us as long to make the choice, so that we can just make the choice and move on to the next thing that we want to do and accomplish in our lives? This is something that I talk about in my chapter that I wrote for the Life Boost book. It's about how we can make healthy choices and make sure that those choices are things that are really aligned with the life that we want to live. If you want to know more about my book, Life Boost, you can go to my website, which is right here on the video, and check out my book. And my chapter in that book talks about making choices that are aligned with our values. And one of the big stressors in life that people deal with is the fact, and maybe you don't even realize you're dealing with it, but a lot of people are dealing with stressors directly related to the fact that they're not living a life that's aligned with their values. And that is the number one reason that people claim that they don't have life satisfaction in studies that have been done, is because they're not living a life that's aligned with their values. So our values are going to change throughout our lifetime. At different phases of our life, different things are important to us. So if you're a parent, oh, sorry, my little kitty cat there. If you're a parent that is raising children, your values are going to be different in the years that you're raising your children than they're going to be when you're an empty nester. And so our values along the way will change. What's important to us is going to change. Maybe our core values are not going to change, of, living a life of walking in love and being kind and, walking in integrity. Those core things may not change, but the other values in our life, what is really important to us at this phase of our life, and how can we make choices that are aligned with that? And that's what you can do to help you make choices easier, to not feel overwhelmed by your choices, and to really simplify the choices that you're making in your life when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to your finances and your wealth, and when it comes to your health and a healthy weight for your body. These are the things that are going to help you to be aligned with your values, which is going to help you to create the life that you want. So in this chapter in my book, I do a values assessment. I call it my clarity probe, and it helps you to get really crystal clear on what the most important things are that you should focus on. And then what questions you need to ask yourself each and every time you're making a choice, to make sure that that choice is aligned with your values. And then if it's not, how to say no to that so you can say yes to the things that are aligned to your values. And when you start saying yes to things that are aligned to your values, you find that life feels easier, life feels lighter. And actually saying no to people and to things that you're asked to do that don't align with those values becomes easier and easier and easier. And then the stress that's associated with making choices in life becomes less and less and less. So it's really about getting to that place in your life where you know what is valuable to you, where you can really get clarity around what that looks like in your life, how to ask yourself the questions to make sure that every choice you're making is supporting, enhancing, and advancing your values. And then being able to say no to the things that are not. I would love for you to have a copy of my chapter and this book, which is a compilation of 36 amazing people in the field of wellness and health, and some great advice. So you can find my book on my website. And if you just want a snippet of my chapter, I'll be sharing that next week on social media. So stay tuned for that, and you'll get a feel for what I'm talking about. And I really feel like it'll be very valuable for you and very helpful. And that's what I want to do. I really want to help people to be able to make choices simpler so that you can relieve the stress from your life. And it's going to affect every area of your life, your relationships, your finances, your health, and your well-being. So go to my website, check it out, and let me know if you have any questions. And I just want to take this moment to thank you so much for showing up here every Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern, being here live with me. If you're on the replay, I really appreciate you showing up. Give me a hashtag replay so I know you came here on the replay. And my hope for you today is that you can come to a place where you can make choices simpler so that it relieves a lot of stress in your life. And if you don't know how to do that, you need to grab my book so that you can have a copy of my clarity probe that you can do every time something significant happens in your life, every time there's a life change, every season of life, every year of your life, just to make sure that you're still staying on track and keeping your life aligned to your values. So check it out on my website. And thank you so much for joining me. Always love being here with you. Until next time, go out and make it a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.